average. You call it awesome with its
Chris,
average. That's funny.
3.5. That was so amazing.
Best thing I've seen over here. How would you rate it? About a 3.5.
Don't
That's
ask
funny.
what the rating is.
Yeah,
The broad
just take my
word.
word for it. Just take my word
Right.
for it. It's awesome.
All right. Y'all ready to record? Jason, you look serious right now. But what we are reviewing today is I'm excited. I'll just start it there.
Why
Are y'all
Jason's so
ready?
serious?
Anytime I see Jason's jacket up to his throat, I know he's gonna be serious that episode. Chris, you was just thinking last time he had it, it was Jason was serious. So I'm like, I ain't gonna mess with him today.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, that's funny.
All right, so this is our intro. Welcome to the What's It Good Though podcast, where we review, debate, argue, obviously tell jokes on movies and TV shows, old and new. I am one of your hosts. I am joined with Chris. Chris, you ready to laugh? And
yeah, we already started laughing, so I'm ready to laugh some more.
All right, and our other co-host, Jason. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Jason is looking so serious right now. All right. Welcome to the pod. This is episode 26. This is our first show in a while, minus our double feature bonuses that we did last month. We had the last series that we reviewed was Atlanta season 1. So it's funny that we are now doing, Atlanta season 3. See, I saw y'all smiling. I'm like, I must have messed up, but thank you for not jumping on me all fast.
No, I got faith in you. I know you get it right.
Yeah, I ain't okay. But now today we will be reviewing Atlanta season 4, the final season. And when we do our episodes where we'll be reviewing TV shows, we normally break them up. Atlanta this season has 10 episodes in total. So today we will be reviewing episodes 1 through 5. So if you have not seen those episodes, please turn the pod off. But before you do, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, follow us on our socials, get caught up on the first 5 episodes that we'll be discussing today, and come back and listen to all the stuff that we had to say about it. So that's your spoiler alert. I'm just not sure who I'm going to toss it to, but Jason seems more, his antennas seem more up. So Jason, are you leading us today, sir?
I can lead us to the promised land, Jazz. Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm getting that promised land vibe from you today. But
I see. You see, got my crown on. We ready?
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, I'm gonna throw a warning out there. I don't know what direction this episode is going to go, and Atlanta's kind of wild. So this is a warning for anyone listening. But Jason, take us to Atlanta.
Going back to Atlanta, Jazz. So going from season 3 into season 4, I really didn't know or don't know what direction we're going in. How y'all feeling so far with what we've been seeing, what we've been receiving?
I'm looking for the connections from season 3.
Yes, I'm looking for that. But
they're not jumping out.
It's interesting y'all say that, because I remember I was like that with Marvel. So it's just like, let's just let it go.
No.
That's a reach.
Jazz.
Look, I tried.
Jazz.
I thought I did something too, right?
Jazz, come on.
Call him
Jazz.
out, Jason. Call him
Jazz,
out.
come on. This he talking about some
No.
connections. Like this. Okay, so for me it'll be a little bit different. Marvel, we're talking about 30 different entities having a storyline. We're talking about 4 people. Storyline it's just 4 people in one space in one place. And there doesn't seem to be a connection. So with going into season 4, a lot of people have kind of fell off the bandwagon. I'm glad that we've been here, since it. I don't know if you guys were day ones. Jazz is a big day one person, but I don't know if we were here since day one. So we've been enjoying, and we enjoyed season 3. Season 3 was super dope. It was different. A lot of people have fell off, and this season, I feel like we're having a debate for a top final season show or a series finale for a show, in my opinion. That's my opinion of that. we opened up the most Atlanta. This looks very similar to 2020. A lot of things are going on in the world. COVID, a lot of rioting due to a lot of real life scenarios. I'm going too far into backstory, Jazz.
No, I'm just laughing at this opening scene.
Okay, got you. So very similar. We had Tarjay, people going crazy, knocking the windows down, stealing, robbing. Did Jazz? You look like you was a looter. Was you out there getting crazy?
Whoa!
What
What a stereotype.
That was crazy.
It wasn't like a black. I just, she be in the octagon.
Like a black.
I mean, like a stereotype is like you typically look at like a black person. It's not how you look. I mean, you do that. You fight in the octagon. You shoot at the range. So you being out in this, I can see you holding your own.
People with a false narrative and a fact. Like, don't try to do that.
It's like two truths and a lie. Which one's the lie?
But nah, like this scene. First off, no, I wasn't out looting. Let me go ahead and clear that up. Because some folks might be like, well, you didn't answer the question. No, I wasn't out there in those streets.
Got you.
Taking nothing. But I mean, looking at the cost of stuff now, I feel like I missed the opportunity.
You did. So like I said, so we have Darius. It opens up with Darius. He's in Target. Like I said, everybody's going crazy. They're rioting, but him being Darius, he's in the store to return something without a receipt. He's trying to return something. The guy's like, bro, do you see what's going on out there? And you trying to return this? Like, come on, just take it. He was like, no, I don't really need it. The guy starts to return, but of course he pockets the money. He dips out and he leaves with the money. Darius decides to go ahead and keep it. He's about to leave and he runs into the wheelchair lady. Very infamous white lady during the riots in Minnesota. She was in Target keeping people from leaving out of the store with things, and she pulled a knife on the people trying to stab them. And of course, they hosed her down with the fire extinguisher, threw powder all in her face, going crazy. What did y'all think about this scene here?
I was waiting for Chris to roll up and save the day in this episode. It was an open wheelchair joke, so I was just like, I had to take it. But
yeah, it's been a while, right?
Had to remind folks. But I was just I'm looking at her. She pulls it out and she scares a few people. But then, as you said, Jason, they fire her down with the extinguisher. Then she sees Darius, and he's just standing there looking at her. I would have just went back to wherever I needed to go. Like, I wouldn't have waited to see her come out of the store. And then she just focuses on Darius the entire time. And I was just like, it was just so funny because we always talk about when it comes to Atlanta, art imitating life.
Mm-hmm.
And so just to see it in Atlanta where I'm like, okay, so how would they handle this? I think Darius would really do that. Like, for real.
Darius just always feels or seems out of place no matter what he's doing. Yeah. It never, I mean, but that's his mindset. So Darius is, of course, he's going to Paperboy. Paperboy stuck in traffic. Of course, it's Atlanta. What else is going to be? Stuck in traffic, cars not moving. He's like, I told you I can get out the car, go in the store, handle my business, and you still in the same exact spot. Paperboy been listening to the radio. He discovers that Blue Blood, a rapper he grew up to, he enjoyed listening to, has passed away. Chris, I believe you're familiar with the real life scenario, right?
Yeah.
You want to touch on?
Yeah, this pretty much taking on what happened with MF Doom. He was, that was the correlation there. I thought it was cool because for me, I didn't catch the MF Doom reference like off top. No, not off top, because I've heard him, but I don't he's not in the rotation or like that.
Gotcha.
So I thought it was interesting to see how that would play along, and I also thought it was cool how they opened the season, because when I think of Atlanta and people will ask me what's Atlanta about, I don't have an answer. I'm just it's just a dope show. And another thing I noticed, it doesn't really have a main character at this point because Earn, season one, a lot of stuff was dealing with him, and then we had the revelation at the end of season one. With this past couple of seasons, we've had multiple people get their own standalone episodes. When I first saw this, I thought this was a Darius standalone episode, which I was looking forward to. But then we get the Paperboy Saru and just everything with with Blue Bloods. I like how they split it up because he's like sort of going into discovering everything was going on with him, and then you have this wheelchair lady as well as the side part too. So, but yeah, I did catch that. I'm just curious why she was following him like that. Like, what was special about him?
Yeah, I was curious if she represented something bigger than just a crazy woman in a chair.
Yeah,
because you driving through traffic to find out who he was. Because I was just like, well, Darius, if you just stay in the car, she'll just keep rolling past unless she saw him get in there. But that seems probably didn't. I don't know. I feel like this episode, different elements symbolize something bigger than what it was.
yeah, and like we said at the beginning, like the whole connection, because we still have things from season 3 that we're still waiting on. So I'm interested to see how that would play out throughout this episode, and just different like situations. But I do think, I don't know, I could be incorrect, Jason, correct me, but I think he was looking out the side mirror and she saw him or something like that. Yeah, okay. So the chances of that happening is just really, really crazy. But
you think her eyesight was that good? Because she had some.
Man, there's no telling. And within this, there's really no telling.
Yeah.
And it had like a nice little jump scare when he was in the car. He was looking at her. He's like looking at her. And then Paperboy started honking the horn to get the people to start moving. Which, I mean, it's traffic, bro. They're not moving. And then we see Ern and Van. Nice to see them back together, considering how the last season left off with her discovering herself, just where she's going and how she's going to get there. And they go to Atlantic Station. Jazz.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
Is there a either one of y'all can answer this? Is there a familiar territory for y'all where y'all just like, I really don't frequent down there because I know if I'm here, I'm gonna run into somebody I used to be around, right? I'm not really trying to vibe with it. I'm not trying to see.
No.
Gotcha. What about you, Chris?
No.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, we're in that.
Jason, what about you? Yeah, don't.
You tried to just get.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you ain't. No.
Oh, because I was leading, so I was keeping us going.
Yeah, you can lead us to an answer.
I mean, based on where I live, I mean, everything is a frequent spot, so it don't really matter, It don't. Everywhere you go is a hot spot, technically. Yeah, it's not in a large city like you two guys, unfortunately. So that's where I'm kind of.
This area ain't as large as you think it is.
when it comes to making when it comes to moving and grooving, I'm sure it's all the same. So, like I said, we're in the Atlantic Station. They're going to a phone store, and Ern runs into an ex outside, and Van, she kind of, we don't really know the details of the relationship, but she kind of feels kind of jealous. Well, it looks like maybe like a little envy a little bit when she sees the situation. But they go to word, and we go into not Atlanta. We're going to AT&T, and as they're into AT&T, another woman is knocking on the door. Like, she's super happy to see Ern inside this store. Like, she went out of her way. So I don't know, Jess. The old white lady might have some good eyes. You can't hear me?
No, I can, but
oh. Your face is just like, I'm confused in this situation. Like, I was just saying, like, I'm so, me. If I see an ex or if I see somebody I know, I'm gonna speak. But I'm not. That's going out the way to speak to somebody that you ain't seen in Lord knows how long. When she's beating on the glass while you inside of a building to call you out and wave, and Van, she like, bro, you like, what's like, you brought all your little thotties down to Atlantic Station, huh?
And then as soon as she said that, one of her old things came. See how quickly karma works.
Yeah,
that's how. Hey, God don't play. And then she realizes, he's been in the same position for 10 years. What did y'all think about this right here? Like, we get a revelation within this within this, but what do y'all feel about this whole he's been in the same spot for 10 years?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was gonna say this is actually this is I watched it previous, but something that happened more recently is relatable because you kind of just like go back to where you were or where you grew up. You just like you still what I'm saying, not in a disparaging way, but it's just like it's still the same situation. So when she said that, it was just kind of like I got it. I understood, how that reaction was of him still being in that same position and her feeling like you've outgrown a place, which is eventually what happens with how they feel and everything. I can relate to that.
Gotcha. Does you have anything to expound on here?
I was definitely agree with Chris said because I think it was like when you see like because 10 years is a long time to where it's like no development at all.
Yeah.
To where sometimes I guess staying still playing might always seem playing it safe because starting something new can be scary.
Yeah.
But then it's just like it can also be a positive thing. It could be a good thing for change and to grow and just I don't know, not like when 5 years passes, you just like, am I doing the same thing I was doing 5 years ago? Like I could have been down a different road, a healthier road, a happier road. So, but yeah.
All right, so here I'm gonna try to stay with one party, and then we just gonna finish their story because we know how it ties up here. So we have Paperboy. Paperboy is still in traffic, of course. Darius has jumped out the car, white lady chasing him. I still want to figure out what that was, Jazz. I've been trying to figure this out since I seen it, and I've watched it a few times to figure out what this white lady was supposed to represent for Darius, unless it was like alt left. I don't know, but Paperboy, like he's listening to the Blue Blood song. There's some guy perpetrating outside, pretending that him and Paperboy are cool on live. Paperboy almost runs him over trying to get out the way of the kid. He goes to the gas station, filling up, listening to the music. And as he's listening to it, it mentions a barbecue spot that he sees across the street. So so Chris, you Cold World, is there anything that J. Cole can say that you may do?
In regards to like
He said, okay, so he mentions a barbecue spot because they're from the same spot, and he goes to the barbecue spot. Like, you may be listening to J. Cole, and he'd be like, I don't know, blow your nose with some, I
don't know. Yeah, Chris blowing his nose to Cole.
Yeah, I thought Jason was trying to make it like a Cole joke again because we had that whole thing.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
What about you, Jazz? Jazz, think about Leon Bridges for a moment. Chris, you got something?
Or Jasmine Sullivan. No, I can't think of nothing actually. That's funny though.
Definitely Leon. If Leon, like, because I know he gonna say it real Bobby like, to where if he's just like, go to the back door and wave, I'm gonna go do that.
These Negro spirituals that Jazz love. Shout out Leon Bridges. He's dope.
Like Leon Bridges is amazing. Jason Hayden.
So Paperboy goes into the barbecue spot. He's looking at all the signage and everything in the spot, and the guy said, "Hey, I want the zoo pie." The man puts the CD in, he plays it, and it's just like convenient. Whenever he does it, the words begin to start to play. So he sits down. You got the meat over your head, back to the wall. Lazy eye man. He don't say no words. As he over here making his pie, and he picks up his food. It's a Frito chili pie. Y'all mess with these?
No.
I don't eat Fritos like that, so
they cool in the Frito, but nah, I'm the same. I'm not.
I was about to ask, like, you had one of those before, Jason?
Mm-hmm. Not like I haven't eaten it where they open a chip bag and just throw chili and cheese inside of it. That's a little outside of my realm, but I have ate some Fritos and scooped it out of my chili bowl. Yep. So this when we figure out. This is when we figure out what?
I'm just thinking about that plot armor episode. You tried to come and be with peasant tongue. It's just something.
What, chili?
No,
You trying to
no,
say
no,
corn
no,
chips or
no, no, no.
corn
Just
chips
continue.
or peasant?
More will be revealed to them. Just
You
keep.
still eat, but you still eat turkey, bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. Like I
And
don't
it's
eat corn chips.
amazing.
You do this on purpose. Corn chips. I was at my grandma's house. She had no crackers, and
Why
I
you
ate that.
blaming
And I was
grandma?
like,
Oh,
because
okay.
I'll never buy corn chips. I'll never buy corn chips. You never see me eating them. Peasant
Oh.
tongue. You're right.
Basically, Jason is saying you had that sandwich last week. He had that chili 20 years ago.
How convenient is that, huh?
How convenient is that?
Exactly.
So Paperboy opens up this chiller and he see a blue blood sign on top. He was like, wait, is this a scavenger hunt? So now we talked about, doing what the rapper say, but y'all do, if y'all rapper had a scavenger hunt in y'all city, y'all doing it? If y'all had time?
If I had the whole day, I like scavenger hunts, so I feel like that'd be dope.
I don't know. Maybe. If I'm not in the mood that day, maybe the next day.
What if it's too late the next day? What if it has to be done like that day?
Did it say that in the song?
Oh no, it didn't really specify,
It
but it
didn't
was
specify,
but it was
But
convenient that it
can
happened that way.
you imagine if the song said, "Do this today, today, today"?
That's the
Like, but
bridge.
what if you listen? But what if you listen to it tomorrow? But tomorrow is your today.
I feel like, you know what? It was the radio. He was listening to the radio, and it was announced that day. So then that's
So
when
that would make more sense.
he was listening to the radio. Then that's what got him. So whenever he went to the spots, then they played the music for what he needed to do at that point.
Yeah.
But we come to realize this had been a live scavenger hunt for like 4 months.
No, he planned it for 3 months. Well, he planned it 3 months prior to his death.
Okay. And his girlfriend had the funeral home open for a couple of months.
She did. I don't know. Was it? Now that piece, I feel like she said he died 2 months because she didn't have his body. She got it cremated 2 months prior to.
Right.
But yeah, but the scavenger hunt he was doing, it seemed like it was dope from what he was doing. He at the swimming club, watching them. He gets some tokens to go to the arcade.
Yeah.
He has to get the high score. And like the rapping was actually pretty dope. Like the way the guy was rapping in the song, that was actually pretty dope. How he was going through it. He got the little T-shirt, had to scan the QR code. He had a comic book, which MF Doom, he does look like Chris Guy. He actually wears that mask, so he kind of looks like Dr. Doom when he's actually rapping. So it was dope to see. And like I said, it was just the conversation between Keisha and Paperboy was the biggest thing for me when she was saying it, and it's made me think about us. And she was like, he puts so much into this, but only 5 people have showed up at least today. Like I'm thinking it was just that day, Jazz. I'm not sure. It may have been for a time period where they just had people come, which would make sense because she had a fake body. So it was just like the stuff that you put in, you may not get the work that come out of it, but you still did your best in that situation. So that's the main thing. But then we go back to Van and Earn. They still in Atlantic Station, still trying to get out. And this is when they find out Kenny has been down here since 2016, because that's when Now You See Me 2 dropped. Which was AJ.
No, I was just gonna say this scene was funny because when Van asked her, no, it was Earn asked her what was playing, I guess at the movie theater that's in the area, and then when she said that, they looked like, and she was like, "That's not good, is it?" And then Van was like, "Nah, it's good. It's just like, okay, so we need to get away from her and we need to get out of here." Like they kept their composure, because can you imagine being like an endless loop to where you and the person that you are with are seeing your exes and just hearing them go back and forth? Because she was just like, I ghosted him, and I was just like, And then Earn was just like, yeah, she still got she's wearing the shirt that she stole from me 3 years ago. And I'm like, sis is trash. How you steal a man's shirt and still wearing it 3 months later?
So the time so I'm gonna let you get your point, Chris. The time that he's saying is relevant for him, not her.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been yesterday for her. it was 3 years or whatever for him though.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
It could have been yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday, so Kenya thought she was she had just got to the Atlantic
Right.
station.
Yeah.
Earn them had just made it there. So the time relevance for Van and Earn wasn't the same for nobody they seen. In that 10 years for one person, 6 years for the Kenya girl. So that's what I was going to say. But Chris, you got it.
No, I was thinking I was gonna go back to when the actual show debuted, and it actually debuted in 2016. So I didn't know if it was like some sort of, Atlanta tried to go, into stuff. And I looked up the Now You See Me Too when that came out in theaters, and it didn't match up the same month as Atlanta released. But I thought it was interesting to just see the growth that Earn and Van had, because they've had plenty of growth throughout the series, which debuted in 2016, whereas they're still stuck in the same thing. So I was curious if that's what they were trying to get at.
Chris, you made me think. You said season 1 aired in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a dope callback is if the girl that he pointed at said that stole his shirt was in that season.
That would be amazing.
Wow.
That would be amazing. I had to look that up. That'd be crazy.
It'd be kind of hard. So it'd be kind of hard because we've never seen him with another woman until like season 2 or season 3 though. Like, because he was always with Van for the most part. Like,
it opened up. He was with Van in the opening season. I mean, opening episode. Okay.
Yeah, open episode in the actual bed.
Yeah.
And they go and they find an exit that they want to try. And Van is like, you just gonna. He was like, I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna come back and let you know. He was like, you just gonna leave me just like you did everybody else here. Like, what's up? And she was like, I'm gonna go. He's like, nah, I'm not. You're not like anybody else. So just you go with me. And of course, Kenya, she sneaks her way through the actual hold as well, and they find themselves at the Blue Blood reunion. I mean funeral. And he was like, "Oh, you messed with Blue Blood too?" Like, nah, we was stuck. And he just left a car. He gave the car away and everything. They making some real money, like in this actual season. They walk out. They see Darius at the same exact time. Him still running from the lady in the wheelchair, and he got the air fryer still in hand. And Kenya, which her point of going into the actual mall was to buy a gift for her dad's birthday.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? You can have it. And they're like, hey, can you on the ride? She's like, nah, I'm good. My Uber gonna be here. And then as they're leaving, you can hear the wheelchair squeaking on up onto her.
She had to represent something.
That's what I'm trying to think.
I just don't know what it was.
Yeah. Was it something with the air fryer? Because he passed it out to her, and then.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Since we hear, like, there is that. Did y'all? I mean, I think I spoke about it. Y'all see that rumor of Atlanta is just a simulation and Darius is controlling it?
Yeah, I saw that TikTok.
I didn't, but I remember y'all talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying that, but that's a crazy theory. And yeah, if that's actually what happens, like that's the reveal, this is the greatest show of all time.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
It just basically goes with Earn and some of his music, as well as the director of the show, or I guess him and the creator. One of the creators of the show, they've been doing music videos and stuff, and a lot of this stuff is tying in the show. And they're just basically saying that Atlanta is a simulation. That's why things don't make sense and why reality doesn't have to happen in this actual show. It's real stuff that goes on, stuff that wouldn't make sense that happens, and it all makes sense. But Darius is the one constant person that can be different no matter what's going on in every scenario.
And when they brought up Donald Glover's album, Because the Internet, and there was one song on there, it's one song on there, it's like The Computer or something like that. I got to look up the track listing, but that album came out in 2013, and this is like 2016 it debuted, and now we in 22. That's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the case, that'd be insane, because it was a tie-in to the album, one of the songs that everything going into like simulation and all that stuff.
I mean, it makes sense. We all recently watched Barbarian.
Yeah.
And the director of that, he had that for 10 years before they ever greenlit it or allowed him to do it. Just like, what was the big one on Netflix? Squid Game. Squid Game was another one. The guy had it 10, 15 years. They never did it. He finally was able to get that off. So people have stuff in the tuck. And when they finally can get it greenlit, they go into it. Episode 2, The Homeliest Little Horse. We're going to talk about Spite on today. We're gonna talk about Spite. This is where my serious face came from earlier in today, because Spite is a bitch. Spite can be a bitch. We open up on this lady. She's outside. She's creeping on her neighbors. Jazz, you don't be looking through windows and stuff at your neighbors, do you?
Do I look outside my windows or do I look outside to creep on my neighbors?
All of it. Do you
I
look
look
outside your
outside my
windows
windows.
to creep on the neighbors?
So if I hear a commotion outside my door,
That's not creeping on the neighbor. That's not. No.
oh
Don't be
well,
trying to. We know.
so,
If I hear noise outside, I'm gonna definitely look to make sure I'm okay. We're
yeah,
talking about you just at the window, like, damn, hold on. Chocolate brother,
that guy. Yeah.
chocolate brother over there.
I wish I was doing something like that.
The watcher.
I'm not gonna be sending no letters in the mail. Oh, I think I locked myself out my house. Can I use your phone or some BS like that? But no, I don't creep on my neighbors. But I wish there was some chocolate living. Actually, no, that's a #1 rule. You don't think nobody live in your neighborhood. But no, I don't. What about you, Jason?
Nah,
Chris, yeah. I'll explain to you later why that's a rule. Like, you got to be careful. Folks
that makes sense. Who you dealing with? Yeah, that makes sense. So we don't really know what's going on with this lady here. So the next scene we go into Ern. Ern is heading to therapy. He's talking to Al, and Al's like, man, I'm making this nigga so much money. He giving money away to just get help, which it kind of ties into the theme of the episode. He's definitely giving away money, but it's some of it is for help, and some of it is to harm. It just depends on. I mean, not depends on, but it is what you're doing. And they have this little scene they're talking to. He's trying to get into the video game, and it's like, I can't figure out what the password is. He was like, say something about the favorite movie. He's like, what's the email though? It's an AIM. I know, Jazz. You still got your AIM, Jazz?
No, I don't think so.
Gotcha. Chris. Yeah, no, we know Chris. What they have on Christian Mingle? What they have on Christian Mingle back in the day?
I don't know Christian Mingle. He's on AIM, brother. Hey, what you mean?
Can you imagine Chris with a Christian Mingle account?
Nah, that's wild.
Yeah.
So he asked him, like, it's a favorite movie. He was like, oh, okay, try Scarface. He said, nah, that ain't it. He was like, wait, that was my email. Do Mulan. And he just started laughing at him. Like, but Mulan is a fire Disney movie, and it's super underrated. What was that?
Is it in your top? Is it in your top 10?
I don't think it's in my top 10. It's underrated though. It's definitely underrated. Eddie Murphy was great in this.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in Shrek too.
That's not Disney though.
I know, but I was just saying something else he was great in.
Oh, okay, got you. Well, I mean, if you're just going through Eddie Murphy great movies, he was great in Beverly Hill Cops. We just doing,
Coming to America.
Yeah, you can keep going.
No.
You didn't like Coming to America?
Coming to America sucks. Yes, that sucks.
Whoa.
Yes, horrible.
I've literally never heard that in my life.
Yes, what? You're gonna hear it from me. No. Coming to America sucks.
I've literally never heard nobody.
Jason.
I hate that movie. Hate that movie. Hate it.
Let's move on.
Harlem Nights. Harlem Nights is way better.
Anyway, have you ever seen Pluto Nash?
You ever heard of it, Chris?
I've heard of it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Because he
kind of. It was like The Adventures of Pluto Nash? Something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
And I think, no, Rosario Dawson, she's in there. She's a love interest.
Gotcha.
So this is not a recommendation. The movie is not that good, but
gotcha.
It's funny.
Gotcha. So Ern makes it to therapy, and we never really get a backstory of Ern. So that we're finally closing out our character's arc in this one. Ern's in therapy. He's super disconnected. He's on his phone. He's going through. Have any of y'all ever been to therapy before?
No.
It's an experience. I think everybody should do it at some point. Super disconnected. They're talking about different things, and Ern is equating him being wealthy or having a good job as to him being fine, which we know that's only one. That's a good aspect of it, but the mental part of a person, especially a black man, is super important. You know, he has these EKGs hooked up to him, which I don't know if they ever go back into that piece at all, but he has these EKGs machines hooked up to him. He's saying that there's something wrong with his heart, but they're talking about is his head. And he brings out RIP to Kim Porter. That was, you know, when she passed away a few years back, just how they can misdiagnose different things, telling you is one thing and it's completely something different. And then he actually gets into what's really going on. Ern is I think would you say anxious or scared to tell Van about the move?
I would say definitely both. He's feeling a lot of emotions because, of course, he wants her to have a reaction, but since he knows her, he knows it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anxious, scared, nervous. I mean, a bulk of emotions are probably going through his mind, which when you have those kind of emotions, of course, it's going to affect your health. You know, so, which is probably why, because he said he was having like different, like panic attacks. So, yeah.
And didn't he say something in episode 1, like, I don't want to lose you, or I won't ever leave you, or something to that effect? Didn't he say something like that? Yeah. So
when he was leaving, going through the actual exit. So yeah, you kind of see he does he cares about her. He does care about her. So in the midst of this, the next scene, the white lady from the beginning, she is in an actual office because her manuscript was picked up by an agency and they want to actually speak with her. She goes into her this loud ass voice speaking on the actual phone. And so one thing I noticed like on my rewatch is they just have this little weak ass piece of paper just sitting on the wall. No, there was no red flags in that. But when I initially looked at it, I'm just like her. It's blindness. I'm not even really paying attention to it. It's the rewatch you catch it. It's just a weak ass piece of paper on the wall. She goes into it, and it's Tracy. How y'all? What y'all? When y'all seen Tracy, what y'all think about this scene? Just honestly speaking, the initial watch.
Initially, I just thought it was like a callback to show where he was. I didn't suspect where this episode was going. I was just like, oh, cool, Tracy, right? I was like, Tracy done got himself a job. He got the suit town, so I wouldn't expect anything else. But
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even realize who he was until the rewatch.
oh,
I know.
That was one of the funniest episodes, which actually connects to. It connects. We'll go ahead. Gotcha. That episode with Tracy when he beat up Ern.
He beat Ern ass.
Yeah,
it does.
It connects.
Like, yeah. I completely forgot about that because when I first saw the scene, I was just like, "Damn, he real aggressive with sis." He was just like, just sign in and sit your ass." So it was just, I was like, I felt sorry for her, but I was just like, it is what it is. But he looked familiar to me, but I didn't think, from him from the earlier seasons.
Yeah.
So then she's speaking with Mr. Rosenbaum. He telling him all the things they can do for how to fix herself up. He wants to be her manager. She needs to go get the grays taken out her hair. She needs to put illustrations in this book, basically breaking this woman as best he can prior to allegedly about to sign her. And he says this can be big as as you say, Bernstein or Berenstein? What y'all say?
I think it's Bernstein Bears, but I've heard.
What you say, Chris?
I say Berenstein Bears.
Say it again.
Berenstein Bears.
Berenstein
Bears.
What you say, Jay?
The Bernstein Bears.
Yeah, y'all say it different. It's cool. I was just wondering how people say it because I was like, this is small, but it's actually funny because everybody, it's like I don't know, like it's maybe a Mandela effect possibly.
Yeah, I swear it was spelled differently. I saw that Mandela. I saw that. That's crazy. But hey.
And during this time you have Ern. He's still in the actual therapist, and then he starts actually talking about when he was at Princeton. Season 1, we know he got kicked out of school. We never knew what the actual reason was. How did y'all feel about this story of Ern being kicked out of school? Jazz, I want to get this to you, Jazz, because it was dealing with the woman and how he handled a situation incorrectly, inappropriately. But the whole thing of him trusting somebody.
So sis was, of course, out of line. Like, you knew what he had going on. You knew how important this was for him, and you offered assistance. And when he reached out to you, you go MIA, to where his future was somewhat kind of in her hands, and he didn't see any way out. I was curious. So she wasn't in the room when he entered and took his suit, right? Like, the room was empty.
Right.
So
She wasn't
nobody
there.
was there.
At least she
Okay.
wasn't there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he didn't mention anybody else was in the room. And normally
Right.
RAs, depending on what schools you go to, they have their own room, which is why a lot of people try to become RAs so they can have their privacy, but it differs from the universities. So I guess I may have missed it, but I don't understand how something like that could just get so blown up. But then again, I'm looking at it's a black male and a white girl going into her room. Because RAs used to go into our rooms for any reason. They didn't even really need a reason to enter our rooms. If somebody told them we had something, they had the key to where they could enter our rooms whenever they wanted. But I also went to a private school my freshman year, but still. So
I didn't even connect that. I never stayed on campus to know
yeah,
how those scenarios go, but I thought there had to be some type of warning for them to go in there unless it was like a threat of a situation, like a threatening situation for them to go into it. I thought.
I mean, if, like, let's just say we're on campus and y'all are in two different rooms, and then Jason, you tell the RA, I think he's selling drugs in his room. The RA's got a reason to go check your room. Now, if it's we're checking rooms to make sure nothing going on at a scheduled date, then that's your notice that they're going to check your room at that time. But he was wrong, but I don't think it was warranted to suspend any or expel anybody.
Yeah,
You just take the privileges away, and he didn't steal anything, so I don't know. It just,
I mean, so and then so this is, I mean, it's a very touchy subject because it's dealing with the woman's personal space, right? Like, we're talking about a black man. Like you said, I don't know. They start using like basically rape culture,
the terminology they were using
and for
was
him,
like threatening and scary.
yeah, it's like he has a room to my key. I didn't give him permission to go into my room. He's invading my space. He can just do this at any time. So it's the thing of, I'm pretty sure she pushed an actual envelope, and then, like I said, it was somebody she trusted or he trusted. Which is for that jazz.
Which is crazy because y'all were supposed to. I guess it's frustrating because it's like you made yourself, like, y'all were supposed to be friends. You knew what he had going on. Why were you so upset he took your suit when you weren't even around for him to get it? Not saying that he wasn't in the wrong, he was, but I just feel like the level of punishment was very high.
Yeah, so he ends up getting expelled. But the bigger thing for him was, we find out that he was abused by somebody in his family.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to ever go back into that, because he seems pretty tight knit or close with all his family members that we have met, at least to date. You know, from the uncle to the auntie. We meet her, but the auntie and things. So he seemed pretty close with all of them. And y'all know, I feel like Van and Lakeith are probably the top two actors on this show, but Aaron definitely showed
He did.
more range in this actual episode. So it was dope to see him bring that out of himself.
I'll say also with this scene, I thought it was very impactful to see a black male going to therapy and it being a black male therapist. I thought seeing that representation was extremely important because I know that we normally see it a lot of times to where black men having a safe space to talk. And Jason, you said this before, like, y'all have to make that space. You have to make that space for yourself because unfortunately with society, y'all don't have too many spaces to be vulnerable, to express your feelings and all of that. So it's extremely important. So I feel like the representation that you see here with Ern opening up to his therapist, talking about what happened to him when he was younger, and then just showing all that emotion. And then the therapist just like, I'm here for you, just let it out. It was safe. So it was just that connection in that scene I thought was extremely important that we don't really see a lot in TV shows. I know P Valley definitely shows it a lot, but
Yeah.
Atlanta shows it a lot as well. So, and then Snowfall. But I definitely appreciate that being shown. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that was dope. That was super dope. With when I was going, mine was he was a black man. I do want to try. I want a black woman. I do want to try a black woman. It started to feel very like I mean, not saying that speaking with a homeboy is bad, but it definitely started to feel that way. I feel like women may be more challenging in the conversations or what they may bring to the table because it's a woman's perspective, and of course I have the male perspective. That's who I am. But Ern, he goes back to the actual therapist. He prior to he was complaining about his back. His therapist, I guess, is very good listener, active listener. He buys him a mat for him to lay on, so for his actual back. And they asked him, what did you decide to do? Because previously they had a conversation about him going back to Princeton, but because if he felt so jaded in how they treated him, he didn't care to go back. But he was saying that he was going to go to a speaking engagement. They had to give him an honorary degree. And he's trying to go to the actual speaking engagement. And at the airport, he has a situation. What do you think about this, Chris?
Man, so when this came up, well, actually, so I'll say this at the beginning of the episode, I thought we were getting a standalone episode from the white lady. And then when this part came up, I'm like, okay, is this where the connection is going to come from? And just he's been scorned, and you see he's got a point now where he has resources to get that revenge on those people. Her whole reasoning for doing that was weird because this was on the rewatch, because she's crushing on the black guy at the beginning.
Yeah.
So like, but she's displaying racist behavior towards Ern and everyone. So I'm like, where's the I don't understand that sort of mindset with that, where she's racist in one sense, but she's also desires it at the same time.
Could it be, and this just came in my head, what you were saying that, Chris, she saw I guess, I don't know how, because Ern was with his family.
Yeah.
And they were going through like the security pre-check, I think, to where you had higher access for frequent travelers that don't have to go through much security. So maybe she saw Ern at that airport at a higher level or a higher class than her, possibly. Because sometimes some people may feel a bit of jealousy if they see someone that may look like they could be better than them on a class level. And then when they're in a position of power, they're like, let me try to bring you down to my level or something like that. Yeah. I'm not sure. This is just coming off the dome. But now I peeped that on my second rewatch as well, to where I'm like, okay, you creeping on him.
Right.
But you're showing these tendencies at work when you have authority. Because sometimes authority, power, people feel like they can do whatever they want, treat you however they want to treat you.
Yeah.
So it could be a situation like that. I'm not sure.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at this because one line I did want to speak on was when the therapist was talking about spite. He was saying, Ern said spite is what motivated him when he got back into Atlanta, from being at the lowest point of his life to getting to where he feels he is at the highest at this point. And he was just saying, spite can give you power. It can be a powerful thing. It can definitely drive you, but on the other side of it can leave you depressed and empty. And you're driven by stuff that has nothing to do with you at all. And we see this is how the rest of this episode is actually manufactured. So we have this white lady. She quit her job. We don't know where she worked, but we know she quit her job. She's speaking with her friend, and she's like, I can't float you no more. So you're going to have to figure something out. And she just wants her friend to tell her that she enjoys her writing, and she couldn't, or she didn't. And I don't know if it was because she didn't believe in her or because of what she was doing for her own goals. At that point, like you're risking real life for this.
Dreams.
Yeah, for a dream, which you got to be able to fund. You have to be able to fund it at the end of the day. Like, you can't depend on somebody else who has their own life.
Oh, Jason, stop triggering me, sir, on this episode.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
sitting here and I'm just like, yeah, You can't sit up here and move around like, oh, I want to live my dream. Like, okay, you can do all of that, but who's gonna pay for it? How you gonna take care of yourself? Like, at least let it be legit. Which is why I thought her name was Lisa.
Lisa Mon.
Yeah, her dog Gizmo.
I couldn't think of her name, but I didn't even write it down. I'm like, man, it's gonna trigger eventually.
Yeah, but I'm just because like to hear your friend say like, yeah, I quit my job. Gonna go do this book thing. It's just like, okay, what if that don't work out? Like you don't have a plan B.
Right.
And as you get older, it's dangerous to be out here without a plan B.
So Jazz, so for me, like I hear you, Jazz. It's okay not to have a plan B if you can finance the fucking plan A. She can't even finance plan A.
This is true. This is true, Jason.
So we can't even get the B because we can't get the A.
Her A is just it's like a possible in spades. If somebody asks you how many books you got, oh, I just got a bunch of possibles. That means you ain't got nothing. Like I can't even put you. I can't trust none of your books if you were my partner. So like her plan A, she didn't sign no paperwork. She's going off of what a man is telling her
that she don't know.
Don't even know. They put your picture up on a poster that a 12-year-old could have made it on a Friday art class, which she probably did.
Then they misspelled it. Then they misspelled her name and put like a fake letter over the S when they put it on there.
She
was in her. She walked in feeling good, hair together. She went to Talia to get her hair together. She's speaking with the lady. She was like, and this was basically the reverse situation she had. Lady was like, yeah, you can come here, but you can't come here with the dog. Like that you're not doing it. She's like, I have my TSA letter from when I worked at the airport, and I'm like, oh stuff.
That's the connection.
That was the trick. Like that's what I'm like, oh, there we go. So we getting into it. And then she was like, this is a letter. She was like, yeah, that's cool and all, but you're not at the airport. So if you was there, that'll work. We not there. We at the library. So you gotta take that dog outside and you gotta come in here and do this yourself. And then she started going through this story. It didn't seem like a horrible story, but these kids, they definitely was getting it in. Like they was they sold it.
Them kids was ruthless, right? Yeah, that was
funny. Y'all think them kids was from Abbott?
From that Candy episode. Man, so I'm looking at that, and then the lady, she said, just look out for a lady in the hat. You see a lady in the hat in the office, and she leaves, and she don't just leave quietly. She goes through the fire exit in this situation. And then as we see Lisa, she's in tears, destroyed. We get a picture on the screen. Ern's at the bar watching this at the bar.
Like a TV sitcom.
So I want to say, like, when the kids was just going in on her, and they was just like, I don't want to listen to this book anymore, and they just start getting up. The black lady behind her was just like, just keep reading. And she did. There was no kids in front of her except the one that was pretending to be asleep. And I was just like, I felt so bad for her, but
yeah, they definitely will make you not necessarily care for a person, but it definitely play with those emotions like last season they did with Marshall when the big payback.
Yeah, big payback.
Yeah, so and then he tells Tracy he gonna get him. He said, Tracy, you next, and that was some of that fight, the scuffle that they had, like, which I was like, yeah, he should get Tracy. Tracy was a hoe. I'm not gonna lie. Tracy did a whole bunch of BS in season 2 to him.
Jason, that wasn't no scuffle. That was
straight up beat him down.
No, like now that's what a fight looks like. A scuffle is Corey and Michael. That was a scuffle.
You're right. Look, don't trigger Chris over here.
Please.
Chris over here. And then he, Darius, I don't know if this is extreme petty or terrorism at this point, but then they walk off, and then he still just laughed. He was like, I mean, it can be both. It can be both. Mm-hmm. As he's like, I need to go back to therapy.
Yeah, you did.
Immediately.
Because even if it's like, how much money did you spend to do all of this? I was just like
it was
worth it. Successful. Yeah,
it was worth it.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
That's crazy, man. Like, can you imagine 2 months? Isn't that how long it?
2 months. And they said like 2 to 3 months.
It was some months. But I thought this episode was really cool, and I think obviously we talked about Donald Glover's performance, but we talked about Tracy in the episode. That was when they went to the college. And that was the callback when they went back to get his stuff and the girls locked him out of the room. And you can see how he went off in that episode. Like obviously he was
Oh
upset.
shit!
Yeah,
I'm not
obviously he
even.
was upset, but he went off in that episode. Like he was banging, like the way he was banging the door because it triggered him, took him back to what happened with the Princeton situation. So I peeped that and I was just like, oh, that's interesting. So it's just like his character development with
Got you,
Donald
because
Glover. Yeah.
you put. I didn't even do the knowledge on this,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah,
I
that's what it was.
appreciate you.
Because when I saw Tracy, I was like, "What episode?" Like, and then did you go back and that was the college episode where he beat him down?
That was
Yeah. Tracy stole his money too, though. So Tracy was doing a whole bunch of. Tracy was getting over on him a lot. That whole entire season was about being robbed.
Yeah,
So everybody
proper
got
season.
robbed. Everybody got robbed in some form or fashion. Jazz, if you had to pick a young white avatar, who are you picking?
man. Ooh, they gotta be. I don't know none of these little kids now. Oh, I'm gonna do sis from Black Phone, the sister.
I'm not mad at that. Who you going with, Chris?
Remember that little yodeling kid from Walmart?
Yeah.
Was
I
he
feel
at
like that's.
Walmart?
I
What
feel
he's
like
based
this.
off of. Yeah, that's what
I
he's
think
based
that's
off.
who it was based off of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was funny. Him or
Yeah.
well, he's not a kid, but Hezbollah. Y'all know who that is?
Wow.
That'd be a dope avatar though. Like yeah.
If I can get in with Taylor Swift, I feel like she grown. But if I could get in with
She
Taylor Swift,
is.
oh, okay, that's want to get in. All right, so young white avatar.
Wait. Actually.
No, Jason waited till we was out of November to start this foolishness. You see this, right? He was just like, all right, is it safe? We did the culture stuff. All right, back to it.
Look, Black Panther coming on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's already gone. Jason's like, I'm
It
here.
is.
He's back on his, what he say a couple of weeks ago, he's like, I drink white milk.
Yeah.
He getting ready.
All right, so this episode here, Born to Die, is about the experience basically. We have two sides of the token. We have the Black experience and we have the white experience. We're gonna go with Paperboy first. So Paperboy just left a bar mitzvah. He's wiping his face, and the dad walks in. He's just like, "Hey yo, I want to. How do you do that?" He was like, "Rap. I mean, it's just time." He's like, "No, I mean the je ne sais, I guess basically the je ne sais quoi of what you're actually doing. I want the swagger of the rap part." He was like, "That's just basically in you." He was like, "Man, I'm not. He said, no, that's just in you. I can't give that to you." And he started trying to walk off, kind of blowing the man up. He was like, "Man, I'll pay you $1 million." Which y'all taking that meal to go hang out with some white kids?
Yeah. And that's why he made that face, because he was like, I have to take this. He was just like, I have to take it. Yeah, that's easy.
Jason, you leaving the money on the table?
No, I was just asking what y'all was doing. I'm definitely taking it.
Yeah.
Definitely taking it. Take Taylor Swift to do something. No, that was my young white avatar. I can't have Taylor Swift.
Go ahead. All right.
You can do whatever you want. You're a grown man.
Allison, better?
No, it's not. It's worse. So much worse.
So Paperboy, he goes to the studio where he meets these white kids. They're rapping, supposedly trying to rap. Music sounds horrible in the actual studio, and Otis pulls up. Jazz, what do you think about Otis pulling up at the studio?
I was like, he plays either one or two type of characters. Some outrageous random thug bully guy, or a wholesome singer in a group that ain't nobody here to see. So I was just like, what he about to do? He was like, he looked at Paperboy, they already knew each other. He was a rapper, which that caught me off guard when I saw it. I was just like, every time I see him, I think of Temptations and how he found Blue. But so they went in, him and Paperboy are talking, and Paperboy told him, was like, yeah, I made a meal off just coming here. He was like, that's it? Paper was like, I mean, he was like, you can make 10. And that got Paperboy's attention, because Paperboy was like, I'm gonna invest in it. And Otis was just like, nah, I'm gonna tell you what we need to do. Just come holler at me and some of my boys.
Mm.
And I was just, my eyebrow was up. I'm like, watch this be a sketchy ass meeting. I was like, this. I'm like, what are we about to see? But yeah, I don't know if we at that part yet. If we want to talk
Yeah,
about
we can't. You can't. I'm gonna say what you think about this
they
meeting,
interest
Chris?
meeting.
What do you think about this Pokemon meeting, Chris? What you think about
Pokemon
this?
meeting.
That's what it was. Catch them all.
Yeah, I thought it was weird, but it's also like, and like we said, art imitates life. I can see this actually like being something. Yeah, so I thought it was very funny, and I just like how Atlanta does that with a lot of different
Yeah, I mean,
different
yeah,
types.
I mean, it happens because I mean, you see how rappers they lay. Well, let me not say it like that, but they definitely. I'm not gonna say pray, but they definitely get partner one of these people. I mean, I can name, was it Mike Will, Miley Cyrus? What?
I was about to say, go ahead.
Oh
You
yeah,
think
Mike.
Jack Harlow?
Nah. I mean, you technically you could because I mean, but DJ Drummer was DJ Drummer, so I
Gangsta
don't know.
Grits was fired.
So, but that's who. But that you know, so DJ Drummer had Jack Harlow, and he also had Lil Uzi. So I mean, I don't know. It's a toss up in this scenario. He believed in him when nobody else was messing with him at that time, and now he just out of there. But
so does the artist have to be full white, or can they be mixed?
I mean, so with that, I think it's about perception. I think it's the perception of what you're selling. You know.
Right. I was gonna ask, but you listed a few. I was gonna say, who do you think some YWAs are? But you just listed a few. So,
Yeah.
Chris, you know any that Jason didn't mention?
I'm sure it's like Post Malone.
Post Malone.
See, one of them albums was fire, so I don't want to say Post Malone.
It doesn't. So they can make good music. Drake make it all the time.
Oh, I was gonna go there, but I said, nah, let me chill. I was gonna.
That's your man's too, so I'm surprised you. Okay.
I mean, you got to be real here. They are benefiting from that other side. Cole too, but I ain't gonna put
Nope.
What? Look,
you see how you trying to switch it up, Cole? You see that? You see that?
Yeah, see, y'all not being real here, but it's cool. It's cool. So we're gonna go into Earn his scenario. Earn's at work. I didn't know where he actually worked. I thought he was just working strictly for Paperboy, but we see he has a job. He's at a agency firm, it looks like, and they are representing this white lady who has just released a book. The book is selling well, but she has a scandal. She has pulled a gun on a black kid during a fundraiser, and you see how they're trying to come together to plot against the black kid to discredit, him, the neighborhood, where they at, and what's going on. How did y'all feel about this scene here? I can definitely see this happen.
This
it
definitely
happens.
Like, we see the result of things like this happening. Like, they were just like, okay, so let's bring to light his checkered past, or let's talk about to see if there is a high crime rate in the area and say you blame it on that. It's just like you're trying to find all these different situations that could help benefit her and give her a reason for her actions instead of saying you messed up. So I was looking at this, I was just like, oh my goodness. But it's so weird that we already know this happens and we still react to it as if we don't know certain media outlets push certain narratives. Yeah. We see it all the time. So it's just,
Which is funny. I was gonna say, which is funny because like in the first episode, Darius was talking to the white lady, and he was like, I don't know what Fox News is selling you or telling you, but it's not true. You gotta stop. What else? Oh, and Aaron is like, I'm not trying to be a part of this situation. I don't want to be tied into it. Can we work on other people? It was like, I mean, unless you're gonna get D'Angelo. He was like, I probably can get D'Angelo. And then he sends a text message to his homeboy, to somebody, I don't know who it was, and it was like, hey, do you still cool with D'Angelo Hair Braider? And I wasn't even, my mind never registered D'Angelo, the singer. I don't know what, I was just thinking like D'Angelo in there. Not until the reveal. You thought that singer already?
I was already thinking about this.
Yeah, that's the only famous D'Angelo, yeah.
See, I wasn't thinking that big. Like, I would never think like D'Angelo. My mind wasn't there. My mind didn't go there. Not until we got into the place.
After 26 episodes, it didn't go down that road, but it goes down random roads in any other episode.
That's my point. Like I wasn't it wasn't going there. Especially considering we dealing with Yodel Kid on the other side of the episode. I'm not thinking D'Angelo on this side. I'm thinking of because Jazz, Justin Bieber was a black kid.
Yep.
So like I don't know what we going. We got what was that Yoo-Hoo guy? Like whatever. So I that wasn't then he gets a location of where D'Angelo is. He goes to a rallies, which I think in Atlanta, all the stores are actually they're actually Checkers, which I think that's why it's like rallies. Like what's going on here? And he goes inside and the guy was just like, hey, just wait. Would y'all have waited to try to get this signee?
Not as long as he did. Nah.
My hunger would have had me like, especially you ain't take no snacks.
Desmond left after 20 minutes.
Chris, I would have probably gave it an hour and a half. And then I would have gotten irritated and was just like, so what's up? Yeah. I would have started a dialogue with dude at least.
It's time we start a dialogue, sir.
Somebody was there for 7 days. The ring came and got them. Like
you see the thing on the wall, people knocking off. So it's 4 days. Aaron tired. He's like, man, where is D'Angelo? He was like, man, he's ask for some water. And this is gonna make him fed up, bruh.
He just snapped.
This is not acceptable. This is not no. And then he takes the books out the man saying he's reading them, and then he starts asking the questions I think he needed to ask, like who is D'Angelo? What is D'Angelo? How can I meet him? And he finally allows him into D'Angelo's space.
Did this make sense to y'all?
It is. It does.
Okay, you can explain it. I'll just say I was expecting D'Angelo, but
see, that's what I'm like. I ain't think they can. I don't know if they can afford that time, that space. So we go into the room, and this gentleman who looks like D'Angelo from the shoulders up. at least 2021 D'Angelo.
Jason, I was about to say that because I'm just like, so wait, you don't think D'Angelo hair grew? Because it's still at that same length from the video. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw it. I was just like,
yeah, man. So he makes this sandwich. Would you eat that, Chris? The sandwich he makes, he got a peanut butter, seasoned salt, and chicken skin sandwich.
No, I'm good.
I don't know. That's sweet and salty. I might try it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Jazz.
Anything.
I'm saying, hey, he got the nerve to talk.
Y'all both got peasant tongue.
You still eat
way worse.
Jazz, you eat chicken, right? You eat chicken? Mm-hmm. You eat bread?
Yes.
Look where he going.
Do you eat peanut butter? I didn't say
I don't put peanut butter on nothing. I don't smear peanut butter on nothing. I have my peanut butter in a smoothie or a shake.
Oh, you don't eat peanut butter and crackers?
Not really.
Oh, peanut butter.
So she wouldn't. If she don't smear it on nothing, she couldn't eat peanut butter and jelly. So I mean, if you eat peanut butter, you may do that because people like there's where I'm from. There is a famous sandwich where they put peanut butter on, like a cheeseburger. I wouldn't eat that, but they put peanut butter on a cheeseburger.
What state is this? Because you claim a few.
That's Memphis. I claim one. I live in a different one, but I claim one. Don't play with me.
All right.
But yes. So basically, in this scene here is the D'Angelo lookalike. He's singing Al Green. He sounds slick like D'Angelo. He has that nice raspy voice, nice tone as he's actually singing it. And Aaron is like, nah, bro, I done waited 4 days, and you not him. And he basically tells him that D'Angelo is not a person, it's an experience. And that's what you're trying to take a black experience and sell it to these white people. And that's not really what it's for. Mm-hmm. In that scenario. So then he tells him, Aaron is like through in this situation. He asked him, he said, so he does this little, I guess, psychic scenario, and he tells him about his dream as an 8-year-old. Jazz, how did you relate with that? Not relate with the dream, but did you make you think of something? Yeah, like within that actual dream.
Yeah, it made me think of the first
Person.
episode from season 1, or excuse
Mhm.
me, season 3, of Black, when he was on the river, because he said, "You're scared the hands are grabbing you and that are taking you," and I immediately thought of Black from the episode. You, oh, that's not what you thought of, Jason, when you were thinking about it, because you
Yeah, but I'm
remember.
thinking of him as the kid though. Like that's because
Oh,
he was the kid having that dream.
right, but I, I mean, I don't know, because so Ern was the kid, and then the kid was dreaming of Black.
It was a dream in a dream, basically like a
So couldn't that be to where Ern tapped into the second level of the
REM is what they call it, I think, like the
yeah,
dream.
Yeah, right.
right. So I mean, damn, that'd be crazy. Like some what movie is that? Leo
That's what I can't
Inception?
Inception.
Inception, yeah. Cause that'd be kind of fire.
Yeah, that
'Cause-
was dope. And he was saying you've been having a dream since you were 8 of these hands trying to grab you, but you're thinking they're going to hurt you. And why do you think that? And that gave him a different perspective after hearing that. And then I guess he took it as a revitalization
Yeah.
because he wasn't upset. He was like, so you, but then the Angelo, he was like, so did you really gonna sign me? Yeah, no.
Like, no.
I needed D'Angelo, not this.
but y'all have let him smear the Simba peanut butter over y'all forehead. When I first saw that scene, I said, "Oh, they taking stuff from the Lion King." He just, it was a thick little lot of peanut butter too.
And he was Simba in the Lion King remake too.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Chris.
He was. Yeah. I was about to say that. Good job, Chris. Yeah, so Paperboy, he tries to go back to get his young white avatar, but unfortunately Bunk has undercut him and signed Benny before he could. But he remembered that Yodel Kid was making music. Yodel Kid, he's on leaning, messed up. And he's like, man, I gotta get somebody, because either way, if I pick somebody, that may be my scenario. So he gets the Yodel Kid. He's partnering up with the Yodel Kid. He signs him. And it was only like 2 weeks in this scenario, and they end up in the Grammys. They at the Grammys. He's looking for the Yoda Kid. They having this conversation about what's going on, what everybody doing. They're like, who did you? Everybody got one. The other guy who led the ceremony, he has a kid look like Post Malone. That's who he is.
On his face and everything.
On the little ponytails and whatnot. He bald headed now, but prior to where he cut, he had them little fake braids. And then they trying to figure out what Yoda Kid is, and Benny tells them that Yoda Kid died. He had an overdose. And he wins the Grammy. And then
and I said, of course, because it's like that sounds bad, but it's like a thing.
No, it is.
Okay.
I was about to say that same exact thing, to where it's like an automatic.
Yeah.
Somebody dies.
Yeah.
Year, if they got something, it can be assumed,
Yeah.
highly assumed, that they're gonna get the awards and everything. So
Yeah.
it's just that piece that was added to that. Obviously, Donald Glover, no, we all know.
Yeah.
But,
and I like how he talks in the shows. He brings out stuff that like we know, but you don't always say it. But he's just like, hey, here you go.
right.
He just puts it up, so that's dope.
Yeah, and they're sitting at the bar talking about it, and he was like, Darius was like, yeah, this ain't for black people. The white folks gonna always win. They always gonna take it out on top. And he asked Ern, how do you deal with being a manager? And he was saying, it's not all about what feels good, or how do you handle what's the right way in handling the situation. And I guess it's about what survives. Not about what feels good, but what survives is what he tells me. Did you have anything else touching there?
No, I thought. Yeah, I feel like I had something, but I think I'm good. I may come back later.
And then light skin.
Man.
You said what?
What you gonna say out here?
This episode was hilarious. Like, I think like right now, episodes 4 and 5 are my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Like, I love these episodes. These episodes was hilarious. And this episode was kind of triggering because any kind of drama, all drama is bad, but family drama is top level, the absolute worst.
Okay, gotcha.
And so seeing the family drama that was happening in this and how they made so many comedic like comments, and I feel like all of us can at least relate to one piece from this. I don't know. I related to a few. But yeah, Jason, what do you think about this episode? Or the beginning, as we open up this episode, we see Ern with his mom, and he's like, "Oh no, I'll drive," and she's like, "Yeah, no."
She had it planned all the way.
Like she had been plotting the entire time, and Ern was just—he was a
adamant.
casualty.
Yeah, she was adamant. She was very adamant. Like, nah, we're not gonna drive here. First off, she lied. She told this man his hairline looked good. No, it don't. Ern need to cut his hair off.
Okay, so we're not gonna do this.
Look at it. It's in 3 of these pictures. Look at it. It look horrible.
Jason, get back on track. Get back on track. So
it is. His hairline not on track. You look at that mess. First lie that we got going on. That's a meta commentary because people talk about their hairline all the time.
Yeah.
I tried.
She tried.
I was trying to move on to something else.
And we have Pops. Pops is back this episode as well. Your guy from The Wire. And he was like, this is his free time. He's not dealing with no family. He don't want to talk. He don't want to do nothing. And he's on the schedule. He out of there. Boom. He's gone. Ern and his mom, they get in the car. She, like I said, she's adamant. He's like, your car too small. You got to get in mine. We're not doing it. They get in the car. He's like, y'all remember going to church as kids? And like, sometimes they cook in the morning. Sometimes they don't. And you like starving. Yeah. And you like, can we just stop and get some shit? No, we on the schedule.
You're going to be late. Yeah.
We already late.
We late and we didn't even get breakfast yet. Like, stop lying to me. We are like 20 minutes early. I'm going to be hungry, and church be like 2 to 3 hours sometimes.
Boy,
sitting there, stomach growling, and they're trying to pass you an old dusty peppermint. This episode triggered me, dog. Like,
bruh, like, nah. So we sit in the car and they having a conversation. She comes up and says, the
peppermint had to be dusty, though.
Somebody gave Jazz a peppermint, open peppermint out their purse.
Yeah, it was one of the ones that was in the bottom of the purse, and it was stale a little bit, but they had nothing else.
Chris, you know how some of those church mints be. Like,
I'm with you. It was just funny because I could tell it's still stinging. Jazz was extra hungry.
I'm just like, why didn't you throw this away?
Yeah, man, look, it's okay. So they in the car, and they're having a conversation, and she tells Ern, I'm gonna see your granddaddy away. And he's like, man, get out of here. Like, he's not thinking like you literally fit to do this. They pick up the auntie, they pick up the granddad, they put him in the car. Jazz, he gets triggered by the peppermint comment about it. Like, this gonna fill me up. This is not gonna fill me.
She didn't even have the good candies. Imagine if somebody had like, I got a few Snickers, little baby Snickers in my purse, a Reese cup.
That might be some new age grandma stuff. I ain't never had no sneaker from my grandma.
Jason, me either. That's just what I heard.
That's her dream.
That's what I wanted her to say.
Now, my grandma's house, during like the Halloween and stuff like that, like during those holidays and Christmas holidays, she had the candy bar. I'd be like, going crazy. She have a bowl bucket, only Halloween, and then like during the holiday season. She going crazy with the holiday candy. And they pull up in the church a lot, and I got to thinking of what's that movie we watched, Honk for Jesus? That's what I thought about when they pulled up in the church a lot. That's what I'm like, man, this is the I'm like, uh-oh, they feel to touch on the same situation, but it wasn't that at all. And then they get out the car, but he's like, help me with your granddad.
The way, y'all, I swear to you, the way I busted out laughing when I saw this thing, she waited to Ern close that door, and she drove so damn fast.
It was the look in his eyes, like, bro, I'm doing this.
Yeah, like, what just happened?
I'm taking this man. I'm out of here. and she
It
drives
just
off,
left him.
and they looking at each other. And they go inside the church. You got Yolanda Adams. The Battle is the Lord playing as they doing the mime scene. They doing a mime scene.
Honk for Jesus.
Yeah.
Honk for Jesus again. Jess, you join in. If you want to hit this.
Wow. She added a little extra there. You see that?
It's gonna come out in like a couple of months. Jazz was really on the miming at the church. Nah.
Man, so and so Ern is trying to find a way out of the situation. So he goes and talks to his dad. His dad, like, bro, you can deal with this for a few hours. I've dealt with this for 30 years. You'll be all right. He was like, so it's like that? Yep, like that. He hung up on her.
I mean, he was having his day.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves their own day. I don't want to be around nobody. Let me go to where I need to go. That's fine.
Speak on it, Jesus.
I'm just saying. Just
Speak on it.
Connect everybody. Just turn that phone off.
Turn it off. Come on.
But no, like, that's super important. Like, I completely understand. So when his dad was like, no, I'm about to go to the mall, handle some business, and he gets there early when there's nobody there, which that's the best time to go to the mall. But he got played, as we see later on. So
when I used to go to the mall, my grandma, she used to go walking at this time.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Open,
yeah.
What you gonna say, Chris?
I thought he was about to cheat with this lady.
I didn't think so.
That's what my mind went.
I didn't think that, but it made it. Well, not the cheating part made sense, but it made sense what the real was when we got to the dinner table at the end of the actual episode.
Yeah.
So wait, Chris, you thought he was gonna cheat?
That's what it seemed like.
Seemed like it. I give it.
Y'all sit up here and be like, black men don't cheat.
Well, he didn't, so our point stands.
But you felt like
she was coming on to him, so.
And it was more, but this is more, okay, so I look at this more like a stripper in the strip club type situation. She's just being super friendly to get something out of you.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
But Jason, you don't go to strip clubs because you don't like to give out money.
No, I go to strip clubs. I take other people's money. Remember that. I said that. I recycle the money that's thrown. I don't throw my own money. Shout out to you.
I can see Jason having $1 in his hand and picking up a big puddle and like, yep, I threw it. Makes
like I contributed.
Yes, that's exactly how I do it. You gotta re-scoop everything. That's why they started getting packed. That's why they started getting trash bags and picking up the money after it's thrown and dance again. Yeah, they caught on. I'm sorry. So Ern is about to try to leave out of the actual church, and his auntie is waiting for him. She's waiting for him. She was like, Ern, I know y'all plotted against me, and you gonna take me to where your mom, where they at? Where'd they go to? And he's like, I don't know where they went to. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was gonna go to the studio with Al and see what was going on with Al. He was like, well, I guess we're going to the studio.
He looked so guilty. Him like leaving her in the pew. There was nothing he could say to be like, oh no, I'm just like, if you sneaking out of church early, you need to get an Uber because your mother dropped us off and left us. So just to leave your aunt at the church, like, if you think about it, that's kind of crazy. And so they went to the studio, and we see who was at the studio with Al.
Who's the studio with Al?
Wasn't it Gunner? Yeah.
I'm impressed. That's why I asked that question.
You know Gunner?
Yeah, no way. I thought she knew Gunner. Why would I think that?
That's
Chris, you thought that? I've never heard Jazz say
Gunner's big. I mean,
if it was Young Thug, I'd be like, okay. But Gunner, I don't, yeah. They playing Uno. They definitely playing Uno, and he said he's cheating because he took out. He's calling yellow cards. He don't have them. I'm like, bro, that's the point. Y'all play Uno. How y'all play Uno? Chris, how you play Uno? I want to
play Uno.
When you play Uno, what's your rules?
There's so many rules in Uno.
Yeah, that's what I'll ask Chris, because if we sat down, we're gonna see. So when you sit down, Chris, what's your Uno rules?
I don't do that whole thing with a draw two got to be the same color. That thing, I don't do that. Is that what you're talking about?
Just ask how you play Uno, sir. When you sit down, you be like, "Hey, we playing like this. What are your rules?" I'm just asking your rules.
No, the whole Twitter Uno account, whatever they try to do, I don't play those rules. You
So
just
Chris don't got rules. So you getting bamboozled out here, sir. If you ain't setting your own. Jazz, what's your Uno rules when you sit down?
So are you saying, for example, if Chris were to put a red draw two down, Chris, how you play, I can't put a yellow draw two down.
no, you can't.
And then it would go to Jason to where Jason would pull forward. You don't play like that.
No, that's how you play. If you got a red draw two and I put down a
Right.
yellow, then Jason got to draw 4. He got another one like a blue. They go
Right.
back to you. You draw 6. Then you.
So long as it's the same, I guess, penalty rule, the color doesn't matter. So
Right.
some people might play to where if you put a red draw two down, you have to put a red draw two down on top of that if you have it.
Some people play it where you put the draw 2 down, the person draw 2, and they just lose their turn, and nobody can add anything to it.
No.
Some people play like this. So I just always ask, how do you?
That's what I said. That's the Uno Twitter account they try to do.
It depends on where I'm at. Like if you're trying to play fast, playing it where you stacking and tripling, that's the easier way to do it.
Do y'all do it to where? Oh, I got one for you. If Chris would put a red draw 2 down, and I put a red reverse down, does it go back to Chris to pull those draw 2?
Nah, I ain't draw them 2 cards. What the fuck you mean you put a reverse on there? Flipping the table. No.
I feel like
I've played like that before. Yeah, I've
you
done
put
that
a reverse
before.
and you give it to the other person.
And it's the same. It has to be the same color. So
right. So if Jazz put a blue draw 2 and I got a blue reverse, now
and it go back to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah, we fighting.
And Jason, it's the same for skip. So if Chris put that draw 2 down, I put that same color skip down, it skips me and you gotta draw that 2.
Yeah, Jason would be so
yeah, buddy. I see where we going.
That's why it's important to talk about.
We going to the octagon. We going to it.
Jason gonna get petty with it. Jason will be making up all types of stuff. Nah.
I can see Jason at the table like, what the fuck did they just do?
I do. I'm like, whoa. Hey, everybody pick their card back up, play it again. We're not doing that.
So what if you got to draw 4 and you be like, colors blue, and then I got a blue reverse? Jason,
some people play to where you could put that down too.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like when you play these draw cards, the person that got hit, they have no more power.
Chris,
they should be. There's no more power in that move. You're hurt.
Yeah, I know how I'm playing with Jason.
It'll be somebody like two.
So Michael Myers cards.
They be like 2 people down, and Chris throw a draw 4 down. The color is green, and I got a green draw 2, and then Jason get hit with a draw 6. He would be sick.
Bruh, imagine you just sitting there with 100 Uno cards. Like, bro, I can't even play. I swear to God, I'm putting every draw card I have the next time I play on the next person. And watch they're gonna have a reverse. Mom be so mad.
You should be able to play with doubles and triples to where if you have like a 3 6s, that's like a red, green, and yellow. You should be able to drop all of them down at once.
Yeah, I remember doing that too.
Did y'all play continuation?
What you mean?
What is
so
that?
You have the 6. You can do like 6, 7, 8, 9. You can play it like that. Doesn't matter the color.
7,
hell
8,
no. No, you just
hell
no. Nah. Nigga, that's called rummy. Nah.
Oh, you talking about with the? Oh no.
Yeah. Like because so I got a 6. I can go either that way. I can go back this way. So 6. If I got 6, I got 6
or 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, something like that.
No.
And it's not the same color.
It's not the same color.
That's just what. No, that's just like you doing anything.
So that's so. I mean, so like it's just like the fast way. Because I mean, if you play like the regular way, the game can last forever. But it's like if you have a whole bunch of people who just want to get out the way, like man, just be playing continuation, triples and doubles.
That's when you at the event. You got like 10 minutes before they kick you out because you only been there for 2 hours. So you're like, all right, let's get this out the way.
Why are you even playing Uno if all you got is 10 minutes? That's crazy.
Because the other 2 hours you was playing spades.
Let's play 21.
True. This is true. So Gunner's in the studio. The auntie kicks everybody out. The auntie kicks everybody out the studio, but tells Gunner she loves his earrings. In there, and then she calls the family meeting. Y'all have these?
Not like this, but yeah, I've had family meetings.
With aunts and uncles? No.
I mean, so you can be the I mean, you can be you can be just a sibling. You can be the aunt with your siblings, like family meeting, or it can be with just. I'm just saying, just a family meeting. It doesn't matter who.
Nah, I'll just go ahead and send that text to the family chat and it be gone. I ain't gotta hear nobody voices, nobody add no extra commentary like sis was on this call.
Ooh, boy, come on now. So we get all the sisters and brothers on the phone call, and of course the auntie is doing the most in this phone call. She's saying Gloria stole the granddad, and she tells her reasoning as to why she stole the granddad, and she I don't know. So she went low. She basically said that he has a lot of kids, and the one kid that he really doesn't remember or can't remember is Gloria. He never showed up for in different situations. Sorry, Jazz. He never showed up for birthdays, graduations, and it hurts her feelings. She hangs up, and the other sister's like, you're wrong. You know you're wrong. And she also tries to say they treat her differently because she's light skinned.
I knew that was coming.
Always.
Yeah, I did. That
I got that light skinned cousin or family member that be tripping.
No, I don't. They all tripping. Don't matter the complexion, but that's something we all have in common. But yeah, I thought that was wild that she even said that, because you're attacking her. It's like the reason why we don't rock with you isn't because you're light skinned. She told him it was because you're evil. Mm-hmm. It's because your attitude is how you treat people. It's what you say. Because earlier in the episode, how she told Ern in the car, she was like, "Where's your daughter at? Where's the baby at?" He was just like, "She's with her mother." He was like, "Well, it's good that you're going to church so you can ask for forgiveness for having that girl living in sin," which had Ern's mom like flinch a little bit while they were driving. And so it's that one family member that feels like they can say whatever they want, and you're just supposed to deal with it. Yeah. No, we go in there, Jason, because this whole episode was like family drama. I mean, pretty much. So it's just, you can say whatever you want, but then when somebody stands up to you or lets you know, nah, this is how you behaving, you want to play the victim. Mm-hmm. It's like, take accountability for your actions and stop trying to disrespect everybody else, and everybody else is supposed to take it. But when somebody puts that same energy on you, you sitting up here playing a victim.
Right.
Come on, somebody.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, somebody.
Like these episodes.
Come on, somebody.
I'm just sitting here and I'm like, and then when she was on the phone with, like, when people was hanging up, Cat Williams was like, "Well, since I have you, like, you owe me some money," and then she hung up so fast. It was $800.
Right. But she was talking about her student loans, so you know what I'm saying. That was important.
Yeah, how long you been out of college?
Chris, I don't care what nobody say. You might forget when you owe somebody money, but that person who you owe money to, don't ever forget. If they decide not to bring it up, they've already realized the kind of person you are, and they just like, you know what? It took $800 for me to realize what kind of person you are. I can't rock with you no more.
You need to stop dodging me. Like, I don't like, if this episode you decide to pick up on this week, bitch, pay me my money. Stop playing.
Shout out to Rihanna.
But please like, subscribe, rate, review.
Nigga, all on Facebook posting about Halloween movies.
All right, Jason. We in December. Let's the present.
No. This is my point. It's been since October since this has happened. Uh-oh. We are in December. What's up? Like, Thanksgiving done went past. Kids' birthdays done went past. Like, what where my money at, cuz? Like, I ain't got it back. You asked me for more money, and I was like, no, I ain't got that, but can I get that other back? You just disappeared. It's been 2 or 3 months. I know you alive because I see you posting. But all right, back to the regular scheduled programming. She calls the police. They told her she better not call the police, but she definitely called the police, and they do a wellness check on the granddaddy, which had me tripping. Because they was like, do you know who you are? You're like, yeah, I know who I am. It says his name. You know who you are. I'm with my daughter Gloria. You know y'all lit. We in Egypt for 2 weeks.
He's like, he was so close.
They could have been at an Egypt museum that was showing Egyptian art that made him feel like he was in Egypt. That could have easily been cleared up.
That opened 2 years ago.
Exactly.
But the auntie was like, "See, I told you, they in Egypt." Man, nah, that was wild. And then I guess they have through all this commotion. They try to leave out of the actual studio, and she asked the lady over the studio, "Hey, is there a back entrance exit or anything we can use to leave out of the actual room?" And she said, "Well, there's a back exit that Bobby Smurder used." When he had the Fed case and he had 3 baby mamas looking for him, and you can go out of there. It was like all you gotta do is leave out, and just you can't turn around though. You just gotta leave, which it touched a lot of, because we were talking about this entire episode. I mean, it was dealing with church, I guess, in the beginning. Right. So it goes back to that Bible story a lot, and his wife turned into assault, which goes back into Nope as well. So shout out to Nope. So they're leaving. They make sure not to turn around. In here, we go back into the dad. He's at the mall. What do you think about this scene, Chris?
But this was hilarious because he finally got that hat. Like, she was like, and then you see him look over the thing, and all the kids, like, it was a bunch of people, but all the kids and stuff was running around. He was like, "Oh no, church is out." And this part was, I don't know the whole point of like them teenagers messing with him.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand that.
But that was, I guess it ties it to what happened at the end. But I just thought this whole scene was funny because he was just like, it's like he was on his schedule and they just ruined everything. But
she messed his whole timing up. In there, and they go to dinner. It looked like they were at Captain D's, but that didn't look like a Captain D's.
It looked like a K&W. Have you ever been to K&W?
That sounds like a local place.
No, they have they're in like different locations. It's a few of them in North Carolina, but like a K&W to where you go. What?
That's what he meant by local place.
No,
like
I mean
local to North Carolina.
It could be in multiple states.
It's a possibility, but I've never heard of it. There's like, it looked like, well, for
all
me,
the way in Arkansas.
I would have said like Piccadilly. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Exactly. So I mean, that's the same exact scenario. Shoney's. You ever heard of Shoney's?
Yeah, we got that in North Carolina.
Okay, so Shoney, that's it. It'll be
they all closed down though.
But you heard of Shoney's. That was my only point. You heard of it, so that's what I was going with. But yeah, they in there sitting down eating. The mom was like, he said, "You get that phone you want?" He said, "Nah, I didn't get it." He said, "That's all." And their mom like, "That's all you better have bought, because whenever you go into that mall, you run that credit card bill up." Which it seems like that's what he always does. He goes, he get his time, but he gets sidetracked, within the actual purchase. Mm-hmm. And then they're about to close out their bill. They didn't get their bread, and the mom, she's making an issue out of it. Which the young kid, he's like, "Yeah, I could. Let me get it, but let me ask my manager, make sure it's." Which I hate that. Whenever they got, let me go speak to her. Just do it. You want a tip? I haven't even paid the bill yet. You want your nice tip? Come on. All right.
So no.
Yeah, I agree with
no, Jason.
Because, you know what?
No, because if it's something that he's unsure about that could possibly get him written up, then I'm not risking getting a write-up just so you can have some bread. I'm going to confirm with my manager. So. Yeah, like they could easily fire him. Like, no.
For some bread at the table, Jason, we sitting at?
Jason, have you ever worked in food services before?
Not like that, no.
Bruh, trust me. Let me just check my manager, because like customers in food services is rude as hell anyway.
In this scenario, his inexperience is what got him in trouble. Because if anything, okay, let me.
I would just say he was him having a bad day.
I would have said, okay, let me. I would just went back to the back. Took a little while. Let me speak with the manager. You got to tell nobody what you're doing, and you come back like, hey, I was in the situation. This is what I found out.
I mean, yeah, you could do that, but it's just, don't get offensive if somebody says, "Let me go check with my manager first," because they're just following protocol. They're just doing their job. That's it. And it's like people will get so snappy and so rude. They're just like, "Well, why you just can't do it?" I'm trying to follow protocol within my position, because realistically, once you leave out of here, I'm still here, and somebody else gonna be in that same table. So like, I'm not about to lose money out of my pocket just so your bum ass can have some bread. Let me follow my instructions. That's all I'm saying.
Jazz, you love bread. You would have definitely been the mama in this scenario, talking about something, talking to the manager about some bread. Man, look.
If he would have came back and said, I'm unable to give you any bread, I would ask, well, can your manager come over here and speak to me? He would go get the manager. I would chat with the manager. We can laugh and joke.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing and joking about nothing.
Jason, let me finish. Because then I do that and be like, could we get some bread because we didn't get any? 9 times out of 10, the manager is going to give it to you anyway, just so you can leave and just so you don't have a bad rating and just so that server can still get their tip. Trust me. I've had so many people cuss me out over dumb shit in food services. I can't be like, when I go to restaurants, I don't show out because I know how it is on the other side every time. So that's just me being aggressive.
I don't think she showed out. She just was like, wait, why? I don't feel like she was out of line with anything she said. But like, I get it on the other side.
If I was a server, I would have just been like, ma'am, I'll just be right back. That's just me.
But yeah, the daddy wasn't playing. He did it then. So that's my point. Like, don't change it because if it was a man, you're not handling it that same way. He did that because it was that woman. Mm-hmm. That was my point in that. Because he was like, just get the damn bread.
Do you think he was just scared? Because his dad hit the table too, didn't he?
It don't matter. He wouldn't. I don't think he would have did that to the man. I just don't think he would. I don't think that conversation would have went the same way with the mama. Not the mom, but the actual dad in that situation. But of course he was. I mean, because even if that, because he can give, I'm still gonna get my manager, bro. That don't change. You being mad don't change what I have to do in my situation. I still can't get fired.
I don't think it helped that the guy sort of looked like the dude at
the mall.
Too, so that
He's super triggered. Now he on the internet by going viral. Hopefully
they both had red shirts on too. Wasn't the uniform a red shirt at the restaurant?
I think it was black with red, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and plus you made a scene when you hit the table, so other customers are looking at this. Yeah. So it's just like, all right, let me just diffuse this. Like because you don't want to make a scene, because even if you do, the customer's always right, even when the customer is 100% wrong. So anybody listening,
Jason don't transcribe. Jason don't transcribe so that the customers do be wrong. Often I'm gonna tell you if you're wrong.
No, the customers are wrong 85% of the time. But shout out to not working in customer service no more. Y'all crazy.
And then we go into episode 5, the work ethic. Mr. Chocolate.
Yeah, that's the
Mr. Chocolate. So we go into that. It opens up. We have Van. Van is here. Van and Lottie. They're trying to go through the studio. Jazz, you called out. He checked the bags, but he didn't check the car.
I just didn't. That made no sense to me. Like none, because he's just like, oh, people bring guns in here all the time, and we see, yeah, they do. You didn't even check the car, but you just checking the bag. She could have easily had a gun in her armrest or her glove box.
Yeah.
Or on the side of her door. So.
As they're going into the studio, super early, just getting ready to begin their production and whatnot on the set, and the young lady is explaining different buildings they can go into, why they can't go into certain stuff. And for me, early on, I was getting Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. How about y'all?
I like that connection.
That's a good one. I just think about
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you can't go into here, because I'm just thinking like, okay, so there's certain stuff you can't do. There's things you can, some stuff not allowed. Here they go inside the building, they're sitting down getting checked in, and then you have this one guy just going nuts. He's just going crazy on the phone, just talking like, man, hold that man, hold him there. I don't give a if you got to leave him in the trunk, leave him in the trunk. And then he tries to talk to a woman. Like,
I mean, it is very insane.
Chris,
my bad. What, am I wrong? Never mind. Jason agreed. He's just not saying nothing.
Nah. Van, this season, my God. I don't know what kind of workout.
Now we got him back. We got him back.
No. I heard. No, I was with you. No, I was with you. But I was just saying, in her perspective, They're probably at the best time to talk to her right now, based on what you're saying out loud and how you acting. But he didn't care. He was just like, "Nah, I see her," and I would have been the same way. Like, man, girl, you look good. Yeah, nah, man, looking
Bro, when she gave
scrumptious this season.
when she gave him the fake name.
He gives it a fake name, and they called her. He called her a fake name again. He was like, "Yeah, go ahead, Denise, I believe."
So that situation is so awkward.
Has that happened? Oh, I'm assuming that happened. Jazz.
I mean, I don't remember it happening, but I used to definitely give out a fake name. My fake name was Latoya.
You ever gave the fake number and they called it right there in your face?
No.
Nope. I've never been in that.
Jazz giving the number and walk off, power walk away.
You know she's not running. She walking brisk.
That's 7 digits. She out.
No, Chris, it's not even that. It's just when I started realizing dudes called the number right then and there, I said, all right, so they done got hip to it, which also was a red flag if you feel like you have to call right then and there. But I want
to lock you in right now. I want you to know I'm gonna call you eventually.
I want to make sure you ain't miss a digit, or misspoke. Maybe you said a 5 instead of a 6. Like
a red. Listen to her red flags. But the slaver who's hanging out with the slave, you that wasn't a red flag. You out here risking my whole tribe for this young brother.
He was mixed, and he was just with the wrong crowd. He can't look.
Look at the justification.
Chris, am I lying? Was he not with the wrong crowd? Did he not redeem himself at the end? Don't bring Women King into this.
I will not partake in this.
Jazz, so if he had a white cloak and no hood, you just be like, he was just with the wrong crowd, but he cute though.
Jason, all I'm saying is, if I'm giving you my number and I see you put it in correctly, like
you in the phone too?
Normally, when you giving somebody a number, y'all side by side.
I just hand you the phone. Just put your number in there.
So if that's the case, so wait, you mean to tell me you let her put her number in your phone and then you immediately call it right then and there, just to make sure she didn't put the wrong number in?
I sent a text.
So you do all of that right then and there.
Hi, it don't take long.
No, I just.
Okay. Jazz, stop trying to run up on me. Off men. Stop running up on men. Like that. It's crazy.
Look.
So since we're talking about young men that Jazz finds attractive, this gentleman that walks inside the hair studio as Van is getting her hair done, what do you think about this young man, Jazz?
Yeah. All right, so early judgment in this episode. I will say the judgment wasn't very good at 100%. But when he came in, I was just like, he probably toxic as hell, but he looked good. He was looking good. I was like, okay. But I just knew, I was like, Van ain't gonna give him no type of attention. But I mean, yeah, he was looking good. But somebody like that, he probably flirt with every girl that come in here. So you can't take him serious. But he's something good to see today. But she couldn't do too much because her daughter was right beside her.
Interesting. She was. And they go into this movie set or TV show set as they're filming scenes. And as they're filming it, you hear the entire studio production just stops. It freezes as Mr. Chocolate tells them to add a crazy scene to the actual. What did y'all think about?
He said, "Put your hands on her shoulder."
Yeah. And
then he said, he was talking to the call girl or like assistant producer. He's like, "Mess up her hair." More. And then they do the scene, and I was just like, "This is hilarious," because it made me really feel like TP probably do some stuff like this for real.
TP for the people in the back. Who's that?
Tyler Perry.
I'm sorry. Can you say that a little louder for the people in
Medea, aka Tyler Perry, aka TPZ.
TPZ.
So yes.
Yeah,
he just like Kevin. Kevin do the same thing. Y'all know.
Kevin. yeah. Same people for sure.
And their studios are both in Georgia.
I mean, technically,
There you
technically
Oh,
Kevin
he's using
uses
TPs.
he
Yeah,
used
He
TP Studio.
dang, that would
that's
have
where
been
they're on
dope
that.
if we saw something like Marvel-ish during the different set changes. Mine would
Mhm.
have been blown.
They
But
definitely use some of the studio equipment over there. So they begin to film the scene, and they like Lottie because Lottie's in the crowd reacting to different stuff, and then she starts speaking. So they start just throwing her in scenes. No new script has been written. They just throw her in, have her doing different stuff, and because they like her so much, they begin to put her in other scenes. And at this point, Van's like, wait a minute. This is just moving a bit too fast. That Van's in one spot, Lottie's in a completely different lot, literally, as they're actually filming these scenes. And then they're trying to find where she went to. But every time they bring her into one spot, they take her to somewhere else. And they was having this conversation about like Black awards and are they really not are they really worth it, but should they really receive them because they are Black? What did y'all think about this conversation?
Yeah, that's the whole thing with like the BT Awards and like all of those how they try to shape that. Like I said, Donald Glover he has this thing where he talks about stuff that's we know about, but it's not said outright, and he says it outright in his episodes. I don't know. I thought it made sense a little bit, but I'm not
yeah,
too
I
deep
think
into it.
I think it's definitely because a lot of people sometimes say like the Grammys don't mean nothing, the Oscars don't mean nothing. It's just like, nah, they do.
Yeah,
Because anytime you watch a movie trailer, it
Grammys.
immediately says
Yep,
Grammy nom, Grammy
yep,
winner, Oscar nom, Oscar
yep,
winner. That's a pay increase,
yep.
which is why a lot of these artists get so pissed off when they do not win Grammys. It's the money.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. You get a certain amount probably starting off when you are a Grammy nom.
Mhm.
You are a Grammy winner,
Your price go up.
bumped up.
Yeah.
That's why Adele can sell these expensive tour concert tickets. Adele got a gang of Grammys. And for actors, Oscars, Grammys as well. So
Mhm.
when
Top
you watch a
billing.
trailer, they don't have BET nom, BET winner.
Mhm.
So it's you could probably sit up here and say like, oh, they're the same, but they're not, unfortunately. So
Mm. We definitely need to put more value into our awards, I guess, because I'm not. It always seems like I don't know. There's no value in any of the Black awards. I don't feel unless it's something that you put appreciation or value into.
Mhm.
So, like I said,
exactly.
I definitely get it when it comes to that. But I mean, you have like even some of the the greatest actors really don't have those awards or accolades. Like I said, we see Leonardo DiCaprio. It wasn't recent, been a few years, but it's been a few years. It's been several different things. Leo should have possibly won that award for. It took Denzel damn near 20 years to get one when he should have got one uh, quite some time ago, back in the 90s. Yeah, I don't know
Holly
the
Berry,
who
she
Halle
Holly
Berry.
Berry.
Halle Berry. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, it's a lot of actors and actresses out there that should have awards for projects that they did in the 90s and
Angela
even early
Bassett.
2000, early
Mm-hmm.
2000. And I was definitely going to say Angela Bassett. The fact that
For
she
sure.
does not have any is very frustrating and pisses me off. But I'm glad they're giving Viola Davis her recognition because if you look at her catalog, Viola been out there for years. Did y'all ever see the movie Antoine Fisher?
Mm-hmm. I seen
She
that.
was his mother. She
Yeah,
was in that movie for all of 10 minutes,
that's crazy.
but her scene was so impactful. And so, like, her and Octavia Spencer
That's what I was
were
about to say.
like, they were actresses that featured in films but didn't get too much attention. And then you start to see them showing more of their talent, starring in more roles.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's a lot. Like, the good thing about the BET Awards is because we put a spotlight on our own, but we definitely need to bring in our black revenue and our black coin into our own because the black dollar is extremely important and extremely
Yep.
powerful. But we're not gonna go down that road. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So here, like I said, we Bam runs back into that gentleman again. He passes her he's passing his number to her.
His business card, Jason.
Business
Spoilers.
card. Yeah, his business card. All right, he gave her his business card, which has the number on there, as well as other details we get into at the end of the actual episode. And as she's looking for her daughter, she finally figures out, where she is. She runs over to Mrs. Chocolate's office, and they're trying to get in, and the guy's like, "No, you can't go in there. Nobody can go in there into the actual office." And the older lady from the set, she pulls up with a gun and she shoots one of the guys. It was like, "Man, relax. These are fake guns from a set we had over there. Like, relax." And they go inside of it. It kind of reminded me of the first episode where they kind of she goes to some random place and has to climb up into another. Well, they show it this time, but like to get to where we need to get to, it's like extra steps for whatever reason.
First thing I thought of when y'all said they just checked the bag and they should have checked the car. Somebody had a gun. They definitely should have checked their car.
Chris, you see what I'm saying?
Look, they half stepping over here, and we make it into this room. And what y'all think about this scene here with Van and Mr. Chocolate?
As soon as he said hello, I just bust out laughing because I was like, Donald Glover really did this. Like, as soon as he said it, I was like, wow, this whole thing was just Tyler Perry. And it was funny. It was and it took me a second to realize that was actually Donald Glover, but I got it, eventually. But I was just like, oh, that's actually him. I didn't when he first said hello, I didn't see it, but then as he's talking, you could sort of see more of it. I was just like, wow, okay. But no, I thought it was hilarious. And just that whole persona of Mr. Chocolate.
Just when he went up to the mic and he was just like, add some type of random dialogue, and then the response was, "This is a kid's show." He said, "Thank you. Like, don't challenge me. Add it. I don't care what kind of show this is." And
he said, "Say, but I'm pregnant."
That's what it was. Like, that's so crazy to add in a kid's show. So he's just like has a wall. It was like so many TV screens, which I could relate. I was like, oh, this is my kind of energy.
Look at Miss Chocolate. All on the wall.
Whoa. I'm not snatching up nobody kid and having them be in a 6-season series. Like, that's crazy.
In one day.
Yeah, you kill it on first episode. We're not getting it's not a reoccurring role. We just need you for this one scene.
It's for the resume. It's for the resume.
That's great. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this with him doing the Tyler Perry Medea's Family Reunion grits scene where she threw grits on him, but he's I guess he's been through it so much. He's immune to it. He's immune to grits being thrown on him.
When he asked Van, "Do you want a grit?" I was like, wait. I eat grits. We've had grits discussions on here. Who says, "Do you want a grit?" Like, that sounds crazy to me. And then when Van was just like, "I'm going to call the police," he was just like, "I own the police." And he said half of was it College Park? Did he say or
So, on half of College Park,
which Tyler Perry probably does own half of.
Yeah, unfortunately. And he tries to then offer her a deal to get Lottie in the TV show, and Lottie is like, "Okay, I like that," and Van's like, "No, I'm a mother. I'm going to protect my child as best I can." And Lottie leaves out kicking and screaming, and he was
Go
ahead.
Y'all have taken this deal?
Nah. It was too sketchy for me to be able to get involved with that. And he said, "I'm gonna make you rich enough where you don't have to do nothing until you're 18."
After that, you done. Nah, I felt like a 360 deal. I was like, nah, it's a little sketch. And then even when she was running through, like trying to get to Mr. Chocolate, like the way it looked and all that stuff, I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah, but I also definitely felt like it put a highlight on child stars that become successful, and how when things happen, the parents are either absent or like have no idea, or they contributed to it.
Yeah.
To where it's just like child stars, when they get older, they speak on it, because we know a few child stars, it's like a little bumpy road.
Yeah, they act out in certain ways.
Yeah, so I think like Van's whole cautious attitude to this I mean, I completely understood. And when she was talking to the other black mom in earlier scene, she was just like, yeah, Mr. Chocolate really likes Lottie. So maybe my daughter can be Lottie's best friend. And then, because she's trying to work her way, like, okay, Mr. Chocolate's not focusing on my daughter as much as he is with Lottie. So let me try to get our daughters to be best friends so my daughter can get in the show. Man was just like, yeah, nah, sis. Like, my kid's not gonna be doing this.
Yeah, Tyler Perry got to fight Donald for this. He said, "You have a Christian gut insulting grandmama. You have a felon love interest. You have a light skinned baby daddy. He's brown skin. He's brown skin. And you have a beautician hairdresser for a best friend. Yeah, no, he was wild. He was wild, and we make it to the house, and she's talking to Lottie about what the real of that situation, and she takes the card out about to, I guess, reach out to the gentleman, and he asked to have sex in one of the rooms, right?
The boiler room. Like, that's where Freddie hang out at. Like, nigga, that's not even sexy. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, sometimes sex ain't always convenient.
When I saw that, I was just like, niggas. That was my reaction. I was just like, talk yourself out of everything. Just like what are you doing? Like, yeah.
But yeah, that was the end of that episode there. But how we feeling about the first half of season 4 of Atlanta?
I want some season 3 connections, but I'm not expecting them, and I don't think we're gonna get them. But because I know when we briefly mentioned in like one of our earlier episodes, like, are we gonna see socks?
Mm-hmm.
This is 5 episodes in. Not that I just want to what happened to that whole situation, or unless they're just gonna leave it as is. Like, Paperboy never found out that Socks had his phone, and that threw it away. So it's as if they didn't even go to Europe. Have y'all gotten that sense? Like, because Europe doesn't seem like it's been mentioned at all.
They talk I mean, so they talk about it in the other half. They talk about it.
But the first 5 episodes, Jason.
Oh, well, I mean, Jazz, look here, man.
It was just a question. Like, Jazz. Have they mentioned it? Did I miss something?
Not in the beginning though. There was no conversation in there. And I like, so Socks, that connection I'm not, but as far as with the whole the big payback episode, is that real? Is that a real situation? Because like Black people getting rapping, like, is that something that's really happening? The whole thing with the bag that he received, like, is that information gonna ever come back up when he got that bag from that dude? The central, the white urn, the whole Central Park 5, is that going to come back up this season? Like all these are big situations, but then I started thinking about it in real life. This shit happens and it's gone, Jay. How many of these situations have we had in the last 2 years where a famous closed person says some fucked up stuff or says something negative towards our community or does something towards the community, and it's swept under the rug within a week, 2 weeks?
I mean, our attention span, how society has it now, is very short. So if anything is going to be in the news media, on social media, a week, 2 weeks tops, to where to keep our attention, that something else will come.
Yep.
So if that's exactly what it is. So if it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, let me just give them episodes that don't connect, that's big, but knowing, I mean, it's not in their face consistently, they'll forget what it is. That seems like a reach, but I won't debate you if you think.
I'm not debating it. I wasn't going to debate that. I was just saying, I'm just thinking more of it happens, it's done, we've moved on from whatever it was at this point. So
and he probably had a few things from the first 2 seasons that didn't come back either. So I mean,
but with him, the stuff he does bring back up, it'd be so small. Like, he wouldn't, like, it could be some of the most minor of stuff, and it comes back and it plays a part in a different season. So yeah,
like Paperboy's mom was definitely one that's reoccurring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Been consistent. So
But who did you guys have any ledges?
Would y'all
Oh, go
y'all
ahead,
have
Jeff.
taken the deal? No, y'all said y'all wouldn't have taken that deal.
Mr.
Nah, with
Chocolate
Mr.
deal?
Chocolate.
Nah.
Nah, I
Even if you threw your own incentives in there.
if I could have a conversation, yeah. But if it's what he just said, no.
Okay. So you were like, what about this? College tuition paid. All
Yeah,
this
like
amount.
make it a lucrative situation for my child at least. Even if I don't benefit from it, I want my child to benefit from
Right.
losing part of her life to do this. Like, because you know, I mean, you know what happens with child stars. We see it all the time.
Chris,
Do you have anything, Chris?
No, I don't have no legends for this one. I've enjoyed the season so far.
Mhm.
Like Jazz said earlier, the connections to season 3 and all that, I'm not really expecting too many to pop up because I think, well, we noticed the last season, so I think they're just trying to wrap up the character arcs of the people that we already have. So I think that was just a separate thing. The time thing is sort of confusing, as well as we talked about the standalone episodes. You know how that is that reality, or is like, did that actually happen? That whole thing is interesting, but I think that was just something they tried to do different for season 3. But with this one, like I said, they're just wrapping up all of the main characters' development, especially Earn. He's gotten the most, it seems like so far out of the first 5 development and plot points. So
Link of Thrones. Who you guys going with for your Link of Thrones?
I will go first. I will pick Isaiah Whitlock Jr.
Shit.
He is Ern's father, and he was in The Wire. I believe he showed up in The Wire. No, I think the first season. Yeah, he was.
He was in the first. Yeah, he was a mayor in the first. Was he mayor in the first season?
I don't. I
He was there the whole time, but I don't know if he was the
yeah.
mayor or not.
We didn't get too much of him in the first season, but his character stood out so much. So yeah.
Who you got, Chris?
Mine is going to be Donald Glover, Earn himself. He actually showed up in regular show. He voiced a character in regular show. I know it's a cartoon, but that show is really good. So I would definitely recommend checking it out.
It's called The Regular Show?
It's called Regular Show. You never heard of it, Jay?
Is it still on?
No, it ended.
Okay, gotcha.
It ended a couple years ago.
I'm gonna do Jay Jones. He played Gas 90 in the Young White Avatar. He was the not Otis. He was the other one. Yeah. He was in Lovecraft Country.
Really?
Who was he? Does it say?
Hold on. If you hadn't asked me, I would have been able to tell you.
Oh, my bad.
He looked familiar.
He was also in P Valley.
Ooh.
Wow, Lovecraft, P Valley, and Atlanta.
If he show up in Snowfall, whoo.
That's the 4 horsemen right there.
Yo, it's like call him Thanos. He out here just collecting the black show stones.
Facts.
Yeah, he was in what's this? I don't think y'all watched it. It was a gospel show. Greenleaf.
I don't know what show that is because that has
Keith.
Lynn Whitfield.
Yep, Lynn. Keith is the husband. Yep.
Look at Jason over here talking about, I don't think y'all watched this, a gospel show.
I said, I don't know if y'all, I mean, you may not have watched it.
Nah, they was sinning for real. That's that fake church attitude.
Yeah.
They doing stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I've never seen it though.
Yeah, it's just dealing with, family, basically.
Yeah.
That's in the church. But yeah, who closing us out today?
I can do it. Hopefully everybody enjoyed our first part of Atlanta season 4, episodes 1 through 5. The Was It Good Though podcast. Please be sure again to like, subscribe, rate, review. I'm one of your hosts, Jazz. Chris, we're at the end. Wave at them people.
Bye, people. Thanks for the love and support, everybody.
And our other.
He said, "What is this, Chris?"
He throwing up gang signs, but
I did like this.
I didn't do that. Jason, you see, I overlooked all of that. But
Jason trying to affiliate me with.
But our other co-host, Jason.
Member. It's been real. It's been fun.
Awesome. So be on the lookout for our part 2 that is coming next week. So y'all stay blessed, stay safe. Why you laughing?
You was like, man, I don't know when it's coming.
It's coming, y'all.
Come on, brain. Get it.
Yo, all right, whatever.
It's coming next week, ain't it?
Anyway, y'all have a good. I was trying to put them at the edge of their seat, like, when is it coming? But yeah, nah.
Yeah, it's next week. It's like we always do. They know.
They might be new listeners.
All right, thank you, new listeners. We love you.
See, dang,
maybe we gotta know you yet. We don't know you yet.
We still love you.
We are on a campaign. We're trying to make it to 200 followers not 200 followers, but 200 subscribers
on our
YouTube page. So please, like after you like it, share it with at least one person. Tell your neighbor.
In the church.
That's the same sound.
Tell your neighbor to the left. Was it good though podcast? Tell your neighbor to the right. Have you heard the Was It Good Though podcast?
And don't forget your neighbor behind you, because those behind you still need to know. Was it good though?
But this is episode 25, right?
25?
26. Okay, 26. Episode 26, like Jazz age. She lost her age. I really don't know how Jazz is no more.
28. Relax.
34. But we appreciate you all for coming out and listening. Thank you. Have a nice night.
I just don't understand why that was even like. We always trying to add extra sauce to shit for no reason.
we all like extra sauce. Make it wet. Oh, you nasty.
You said it.
You said it.
Yeah, but your face was like you. If you go get some pasta,
you're not making
you want it wet, right?
Better.
Which one you had a pasta? You want it?
Guys, we're still recording. They can still hear us.
Hey guys, we love you. We appreciate you for our banter. I knew y'all was listening. Yeah, I knew.
Chris said, "I'm gonna get them this week. They've been talking about me stopping it too much. We gonna get everything this week."